population, even with one dose, had lesser severity of illness, lesser inflammatory markers, lesser need for respiratory support such as oxygen and machines.
The vaccines remain strikingly efficacious against the most dangerous outcomes that we care about. No country, in my opinion, can defend itself against the Delta variant without a high enough vaccination coverage.
High-income countries who are vaccinating their population significantly are starting to see COVID-19 pandemic as if it's not their problem. That is dangerous.
There are many low-income countries where there's nothing available. They just don't have access to vaccines because the rich countries have taken it.
Vaccines can be produced and the world can be opened up. It's in our hands. We can end it very soon because we have the tools now.
There is anguish, there are appeals, requests to speeden up vaccinations, all for this one reason. Data shows that vaccines work. They protect against severe infection, and worldwide vaccinated people are getting protection. So even though if people are getting infected by mutating variants like the Delta variant, for example, they are by and large getting protection from severe disease. Well, that is our conversation today. You're watching COVID 360. I'm Sneha Mordani. Our top focus, a study by the government-controlled Indian Council of Medical Research and also studies done independently in hospital settings show that vaccines are reducing hospitalizations, and that is why they are important. It doesn't matter if the infection gets you after getting a shot or even two for that matter. What really matters is protection from severe disease, hospitalization and death.
COVID positive after 2 doses of the vaccine? Don't fret. It doesn't mean the vaccine isn't working. Here's why. Vaccines are meant to protect you against severe infection of COVID-19 and not make you completely immune to it. Leave alone COVID-19, that's not even possible with any vaccine.
Vaccines are excellent. They need to be given. But we need to understand that just because we are vaccinated, you're not immune to getting infected. And if you pick up an infection, you may end up giving it to other people.
Vaccines against COVID-19 provide protection against severe disease, hospitalization and death, but does not guarantee protection against what's known as breakthrough infections.
Breakthrough cases among the immunized are a reminder that as long as the pandemic virus is prevalent in the world, it remains a threat to everyone. Here is why breakthrough infections are happening. Well, the reason is the virus itself. It continues to mutate, fitter variants proliferate globally, and these cause infections when they are more transmissible and evade immunity. Even the most effective vaccines delivered ideally doesn't really guarantee immunity. Some individuals may not really mount a robust response to the vaccine, meaning they fail to generate sufficient levels of virus blocking antibodies and the T cells that hunt down and kill virus-infected cells.
But data from several studies suggest that vaccines are reducing hospitalizations. India's own set of data, compiled by the Indian Council of Medical Research, show that 9.8% of the positive COVID-19 cases required hospitalization, while fatalities were observed in only 0.4% of the cases. Breakthrough infections were seen in 86% of cases. Cases caused by the Delta variant, the most predominant variant in the world.
What vaccination does is not stopping the chance of acquisition of the infection, but it delinks the infection and the possibility of symptomatic severe disease or death.
In fact, a study done again in India shows that even 1 dose of the vaccine protects against severe disease. The study done by Apollo Hospital in Bengaluru showed even a single dose of the vaccine reduced severity of the disease.
The vaccinated population, even with one dose, had lesser severity of illness, lesser inflammatory markers, lesser need for respiratory support such as oxygen and machines, despite having more comorbidities such as diabetes and hypertension, which is very, very important to understand.
Vaccine experts and health officials have said that while boosters may eventually be needed, there's not enough data to conclude that they are now. Public health specialists have argued that recommending boosters prematurely would use up valuable shots that could go to billions of people around the world who aren't vaccinated at all. Sneha Mordani for India Today.
I spoke earlier to Dr. Madhupai, who is epidemiologist, professor and director of the Global Health Program and TB Center at the McGill University in Canada, who says that vaccines are preventing people from dying. Listen in. How the vaccine is protecting, at least sending lesser people to hospitals and ICUs when it comes to breakthrough infections. Just to give us an idea about how this is really working out in states that are now seeing, or in countries rather, that are now seeing a surge in cases of Delta variant.
Thank you. Yes, the Delta variant is causing surges in most parts of the world. But in countries where people are getting vaccinated, especially US and UK, the breakthrough infections appear to be very mild, or in many cases not even producing symptoms. So people can get infected even with vaccination because the vaccines are not perfect, but they are not actually falling sick enough to go to be hospitalized or to be in the ICU or ventilated. On the other hand, people who are in the ICUs and being ventilated and really sick, more than 95% of them are unvaccinated people. So I think this is actually strong proof that existing vaccines do in the real world work very well. They make the illness very mild or completely asymptomatic, which is perfectly acceptable to all of us. What we want to avoid with these vaccines, which they do, is to prevent deaths and to prevent serious hospitalization and ventilation and so on and so forth.
Our next report will show you how the United Kingdom is getting engulfed with the Delta variant, but improving rates of vaccination is sending lesser number of people to hospital.
United Kingdom has had a tough battle against coronavirus. The country has witnessed two ferocious COVID waves in April 2020 and in January 2021.
So that if you are guilty...
Prime Minister Boris Johnson and his cabinet came under severe pressure after a high average death rate. That all changed when vaccination drive packed pace and fatalities dropped drastically.
Is that all right? Are you ready now? Yeah? Sling come in.
On January 19th, at the peak of the second wave in United Kingdom, only 6.9% of the country had received jabs. But as vaccination increased across the country, the deaths reported to have fallen drastically. The deaths have fallen from 224 on March 1, 2021 to 64 deaths on July 23, 2021. During the first COVID wave, the country reported more than 500 deaths. On 1 April 2020, UK reported 673 deaths, with the deaths peaking to 1,224 by April 21st. The country's second COVID wave was equally fatal, with over 1,826 deaths recorded on January 20th. The only tool to defeat COVID was vaccines. And during this period, UK had just started administering the vaccines. UK's vaccination rate stands at 68.5%, and it has helped the country to open up. Restaurants, theatres, bars and clubs have all opened across UK, allowing the citizens to enter the post-pandemic world. UK is the perfect example of how vaccination has decreased deaths and has helped the countries to open up for regular activities once again. Bureau Report, India Today.
Vaccines save lives and there is data to back it up. Across the world, the number of COVID-19 related deaths post-vaccination have dropped dramatically after countries started the vaccination drive. Let's take a look at the data from the United States to begin with. For example, the deaths in the US, for example, before vaccines were rolled out was about 3,400. The cases as on the 11th of December was about 2,40,000. At this time, no doses of the vaccine were administered. This changed on the 7th of April 2021 with 75,000 new cases. The deaths had reduced to 2,500. The vaccination percentage of one dose at least was 32.9%. Look at the situation now in the United States of America, where the deaths have gone down drastically. 56 deaths, around 64,000 cases. To draw a comparison, and the rate of vaccination as of 25th of July is 56.2%. Moving on, let's take a look at the UK, for example, which of course is testimony to how vaccines are saving lives again. On the 21st of April 2020, when no dose was administered, which is last year, the deaths were around 1,200. The cases were around 4,700. After vaccines started to get administered in the United Kingdom, and this is data from the 20th of January 2021, where 7.3% of the population had got the doses against COVID-19, there were 1,800 deaths. Yes, the cases were at 38,000. So look at the comparison as far as the number of cases is concerned. We have 38,000 cases, almost 39,000 cases, 1,800 deaths, and just a year ago we had about 4,000 cases and 1,200 deaths. The situation now in the UK, 28 deaths with close to 30,000 cases. It's round about 29,000 cases and 28 deaths, and the percentage of vaccinations is 68.5%. Moving on to Singapore, which has fought the virus exceptionally well, really. Let's take a look at the data from the 21st of March 2020, where there were 2 deaths reported with 47 cases. No doses of the vaccine were administered in March last year. We have 1 death, 17 cases, 26th of June 2021, where 55%, almost 56% of the population have got a shot against COVID-19. The situation now with 72.1% coverage of the population in terms of the vaccine doses. We have 0 deaths and 117 cases. In Asia and Africa, the slow rates of vaccination show vaccine inequity. It also shows how the pandemic is only escalating in these regions. The reasons? Lack of access to life-saving vaccines. Here is the shameful reality of a pandemic-ravaged world.
They are no longer recommending that fully vaccinated people need wear masks. I think it's a great milestone, a great day. It's been made possible by the extraordinary success we've had in vaccinating so many Americans so quickly.
The President of United States of America made this promising statement, saying the fully vaccinated can largely ditch masks. While America rejoices, the situation is starkly different in the Oriental world. A renewed surge of COVID infections plagues Asian nations. The reason? Slow rate of vaccinations. Indonesia, India, Malaysia, Japan are reporting increase in daily COVID cases. Most Asian countries have had initial hiccups in procuring vaccines. An initial success after the first wave also caused a lackadaisical approach in these Asian nations. Moreover, the inoculation drive has been slow.
No country, in my opinion, can defend itself against the Delta variant without a high enough vaccination coverage, because the population is extremely vulnerable, and the virus, as we know from India, spreads so quickly. Within a matter of days, entire families, communities will get infected, and it will cause a lot of deaths, as we saw in India.
Indonesia is now the new epicenter of the pandemic. With hundreds dying of COVID in the last few weeks, it has become a matter of worry for many Asian nations. In Indonesia, many children under 5 have lost their lives to the ghastly virus. The jump in deaths of kids is alarming as it coincides with the Delta variant surge. In Thailand, protests broke out against the present administration, accusing the PM of fumbled vaccine rollout. Citizens have taken to social media to lash out against the management in vaccine procurement and rollout in Thailand. Neighbouring Malaysia has one of Southeast Asia's highest infection rates relative to its population. The government is under fire for the slow pace of inoculation. Only 5.6% of Malaysian population is fully inoculated. Myanmar is struggling post the second wave with the collapse of healthcare infrastructure. The military coup has largely added to the woes. The coup muddled much of the comprehensive plans to remit the spread of the virus. From February to date, there have been horrific assaults on healthcare workers, with hospitals raided and occupied by military troops, directly impacting the vaccination drive. As for Vietnam, the slow pace of vaccination seems to be just a part of the problem. The health minister recently linked the surge in infections to new variants. Alarmingly, less than 3% of Vietnamese population stands to be vaccinated for COVID.
While South Asian countries are reporting a surge in coronavirus cases, the light at the end of the tunnel definitely could be an increase in the pace of vaccination. A good example for those countries would be the neighboring Brunei or Singapore, and perhaps adopt that particular model. After all, doctors around the world cannot stress enough on how vaccination at the moment is the only best protection against severe infections and hospitalizations. In New Delhi, Chaiti Narula for India Today.
Vaccine inequity, the world's largest obstacle right now to recovering from COVID-19, is what experts are saying. Listen in to this conversation I've had earlier with well-known epidemiologist Professor Madhu Pai. Do you see a lot of vaccine hesitancy even in developed countries like the US, for example, because there is fair amount of vaccine hesitancy in India also, and that remains a challenge?
Yes. So first of all, vaccine hesitancy, I think, appears in the equation when vaccines are available. There are many, many low-income countries where there's nothing available. So I don't think it's fair to blame vaccine hesitancy for their plight. They just don't have access to vaccines because rich countries have taken it. But in rich countries, like US, for example, or parts of Europe, which do have plenty of vaccines, millions of doses of vaccines, about half of the people are saying no. And some of them are genuinely hesitant, while others are completely anti-vaccine. And in the United States, this is one of the biggest challenges that they're facing now. It's not that they lack money or vaccines. It's just that their own Republican politicians are actively campaigning against vaccination, against masking, against public health measures. They're opening up everything, and yet only half of America has received the full course of the vaccines, which leaves so many people vulnerable to the Delta variant. So I think anti-vaccine sentiments, misinformation, and lack of leadership, especially in the Republican-led states of America and the southern states of America where vaccine coverage is low, that is where the real damage is happening in America right now.
As the Delta variant of COVID-19 sweeps through the United States, President Joe Biden has said the administration would follow science when it comes to changing the guidance on masks. While the U.S. Center for Disease Control and Prevention is also weighing revisiting its COVID-19 guidelines to recommend that even fully vaccinated people wear masks in public. And this is something that Anthony Fauci, the White House chief medical advisor, has also said.
As the Delta variant of COVID-19 sweeps through the United States, President Joe Biden said Thursday the administration would follow the science when it comes to changing guidance on masks. His comments coincided with reports that officials were discussing whether to shift CDC guidance issued in May, which said fully vaccinated people would no longer need masks in most public spaces. And on Thursday, Biden shifted the conversation back to vaccination, emphasizing that the new cases surging across the U.S. were largely unvaccinated.
We follow the science. What's happening now is all the major scientific operations in this country and the 25-person group we put together are looking at all the possibilities of what's happening now. We have a pandemic among the non-vaccinated, those who are not vaccinated.
CDC Director Rochelle Walensky said earlier on Thursday the U.S. was at another pivotal moment in its fight against the coronavirus, but did not mention any changing guidance on masks. Walensky said the 7-day average of new cases in the U.S. surged 53% over the past week, and that some hospitals across the country were already nearing full capacity. The rise in cases is largely concentrated in regions with lower vaccination rates. Florida, Texas, and Missouri account for 40% of all new cases nationwide, according to the White House. Meanwhile, the CDC is also looking into the immunity of fully vaccinated people to determine whether additional booster shots of the vaccine may be needed.
Well, that's all in this edition of COVID 360. Until next time, stay safe, be well, and do get the shot against COVID-19 if you haven't already. Thanks for watching.